Black Friday. Easily my favorite holiday of the year, where I blindly pick a handful of games that I should probably talk about, but really, it just goes on my backlog shelf. Just to name a few: Monster Hunter Stories 2, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. Each for $25, that's an absolute bargain. I also got a handful of limited run games I've waited an eternity for, just to name a few: Double Dragon Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle, Quake, finally getting into some Super Meat Boy, River City Girls, and Shantae and the Pirate's Curse on PS5. I mostly just bought this just to fill the void from my Switch collection. I waited over a year just for the standard copy to be printed. Plenty of PS5 games as well, much like Gran Turismo 7 having a very nice steelbook case, and Crazy Chicken Xtreme? Wait a second. No! Amongst all the great titles to pick up for the holiday, there's always a shovelware lurking around the corner on store shelves for the best-selling video game consoles. Crazy Chicken is one of those stupid garbage. One of the slowest light gun games with 2 levels and no PS Move support. You gotta be kidding me. Crazy Chicken is a series that's been around for an abnormally long time on other platforms like the Game Boy Color. However, around the first year of the PS5 launch, while we were waiting for the hottest next-gen experience that we can find, we got a remake of Crazy Chicken. Now, I've already taken a look at Crazy Chicken Shooter Edition as my first video in the series, and clearly, everyone on a Czech gaming retail site wants to watch chicken slaughter, not a dating sim. So here's another one, Crazy Chicken Xtreme, this time being a multi-platform release for PS4, PS5, and Switch. You know, it's actually pretty damn funny how this ended up being a 4K remake of the original chicken shooter made exclusively for the PS5, at least in our territory, while this is a brand new original title being a cross-gen release. Which is exactly what Sony's been doing for the past year. At least the back of the box doesn't have a video game controller crisis, just the usual bullet points and the ability to teach French. Look, I'm already procrastinating long enough from playing another PS5 shovelware, so let's just get this over with. Jesus, their budget must have been lower than the last release. Hey, getting background music to play on the PS5 home menu isn't easy to pull off. We'll keep it simple. Single player, forest level, here's the button layout, just let me play the game, damn it! Ah, so that's where all the budget went. I gotta say, they had big shoes to fill for the follow-up. The game actually has 3D graphics. I'm already that Crazy Chicken dork, so I slaughtered those chicken like an absolute badass. Why? Who's spending more time than I am making these numbers? The town level is definitely downtown from the castle, and holy shit, this game got extreme! Back to regular shooting. I mean, come on, there's no DualSense features of any kind to be found here. The Gatling gun should have given me something. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but every time I press the trigger and the ammo count actually uses up 2 shotgun shells at a time. So, what's the point of the ammo count if it doesn't actually represent the actual number of shots you have before reloading? Castle level. Holy shit. The last thing you need is to make the 3rd level of the game my least favorite level. You do know I spent $30 for this, right? Which makes this thing a whole lot more. That's it. I finished the game in 10 minutes. Okay, the first time around, we all thought it'd be funny to get Crazy Chicken and think, oh, nobody's gonna buy this garbage. Who knows, it might be rare and valuable one of these days. It was the shovelware title for the PS5. Except a year later, they made another. And guess what? It's the same shit. Unfortunately, that's what shovelware is. They don't care about making a game. They make the bare minimum to be put on store shelves so suckers like us buy into it because we don't have any brain cells for Black Friday. Now that I think about it, why Crazy Chicken? I wasn't exaggerating when I say this was a series because I legitimately didn't realize that it was actually a German game called Morhun? And get this, that's the official title for the Nintendo Switch release. And there's 7 of them! As for the 2 I already played on my PS5, these games already released back in 2018! That's 2 years before the PS5 even launched! That video game controller crisis is starting to make a whole lot more sense now. This series goes all the way back to the PS1 and PAL territories, and it actually supported light guns. Like, what the hell, man? Oh my god. We've been played like a damn fool. And it doesn't stop there. For every chicken shooter, there's another chicken game trying to replicate its success. Chicken Attack, Chicken Blaster, Chicken Hunter, that's actually Chicken Shooter again, but for the DS. Chicken Range, Chicken Riot, Chicken Shoot, Chicken Little, Mort the fucking Chicken, and Chicken Run. Chicken Run? Remember Chicken Run? Yeah. You know, the classic animated film created by Pierre Lord and Nick Park himself from Aardman Studios. You know, the guys behind the Wallace and Gromit series. If you don't, then I've officially hit my 30s. I was feeling pretty nostalgic about it after all the chicken talk. I haven't seen this movie in years, so I finally picked up a Blu-ray copy of it. Am I the only one who hates these generic cover arts? I mean, sure, apparently Universal Studios are the one distributing the HD remaster and said, fine, here's the 2 chickens on the green background and call it a day. It's horrible! Take a look at Darkman, for example. Sure, this is less than ideal compared to just using the theatrical poster, and even then, the theatrical poster is on the reversible cover art. This not only doesn't represent what kind of film this is, other than Walmart shoppers being told to run the hell away from these chickens staring down to your soul, but it's boring. It confuses me why these manufacturers put the effort into making generic color background and cover arts for a handful of classic films, only to look like they put little to no effort. But hey, it's in HD with theater quality sounds. And that's all we need in life. Now, the film itself. It's just your family-friendly film about a group of chickens wanting to escape from evil Tweedy farmers and the scary-ass dogs because they're being forced to mass-produce eggs to sell, and if chicken don't lay enough eggs, they'll get executed. Except Mrs. Tweedy found a better idea to build a chicken pot pie factory machine to cook all the chickens she has in order to make more money, while a cockerel, yes, that's an actual word used on IMDb, happens to fly into the farm, enticing all the chickens to learn how to fly and escape the farm. Holy shit, this is a fucking concentration camp. Chicken Run holds up tremendously well 22 years later. Children would enjoy the goofy and sometimes frightening scenarios that chickens would get into. Adults would enjoy the British humor, witty dialogue, Mel Gibson anyone. I'm also a fan of stop-motion animated films in general, being able to see filmmakers create a story with massive miniature sets. I mean, animated films should appeal to everyone. That, and it's a pretty damn optimistic film reminding you that even in your lowest point, you could still escape that concentration camp when you put your mind to it. Best part of all? It's an anti-chicken shooter movie. It's kind of fitting to bring this up as we'll be getting a sequel to this film dropping on Netflix next year. That being said, I have no damn clue how they're gonna make a sequel to Chicken Run of all movies, but I'm glad we're satisfying the 5 die-hard Chicken Run fans who waited 22 years for it. Wow. What a perfect segue to derail off topics and talk about movies of all things. You might think I'm just padding to fill the runtime. I call it clickbait. I mean, come on, I just covered 2 completely separate topics for no reason whatsoever. I'm starting to like YouTube now that I think about it. However, I think the best way to round off this episode and complete the circle is to give you my first impressions on Chicken Run for the original PlayStation, the Impressionist gamer way. It's alright.